Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny has Indiana Jones going on a globetrotting adventure to keep the dial from the Nazis. So the positives on this film are Harrison Ford, of course, does great in the role of Indiana Jones, where he, in the beginning of the movie, where he puts his hat up to Yerton's face and then it hits him. That actually seems like that would have been in the original trilogy. So I actually really like that. So and he just does a great job in the role of Indiana Jones. The Antikythera is a cool MacGuffin for the movie. I think it looks cool, regardless of what it does. I think it actually looks cool. That's it for positives. On to the mixed. And the mixed aspect is the action is either is either good or uninspired. So sometimes there's a good action sequence, sometimes there's a lackluster action sequence. I like the cart chase where Indy chases after Yerton in a cart, driving around the town in a cart. But then again, for most of the action sequences, I don't really feel tense for them, and I don't feel tense in the beginning of the film, since that's a flashback, I guess. But action sequences, they're decent, but they're not really that inspired. So I don't really love them. That's it for mixed. On to the negatives. I honestly don't see a point to this film. It's kind of just made to wash out Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because that's considered to be so bad. I will really only watch Dial of Destiny during like a binge watch of the franchise and not necessarily just throw one on at random. Another negative, one more time, the villains are not really that memorable. They're not intimidating, they're not scary. They don't really have an interesting plan. They don't have an intriguing plan, so I'm not really invested in it that much. Another negative is the movie, I honestly think it's a little too long. It's actually the longest movie in the franchise, being 2 hours and 34 minutes, when all the other movies are about 2 hours. So this one's actually pretty long. And the last negative is this movie goes way too far into the supernatural with going back in time and time traveling. That's way too far. And honestly, they're only back in time for like 15 minutes. Like, they could have at least, like, if you're gonna go way supernatural, they could have at least had the last third of the movie be back in time and then having them try and survive being back in time and trying to get back to their present time. That actually would have been pretty interesting. But it's way too far into the supernatural, and they really don't utilize it that well. So that's it for negatives. In the end, this movie's watchable. It's not great, but I can have a decent amount of time with it. If I'm binging the franchise, I can pretty easily watch this one, but it's really not going to be a movie that I'll pick on its own if I'm in an Indiana Jones, if I want to watch an Indiana Jones movie. So, decent, not great. Dial of Destiny, it's decent, but it's not great. So that's my review on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Thanks for watching.